Well, I started walking over, I didn't feel the cold, so I was like, sunny out! Sun's coming out earlier! That's awesome! Okay? So, Rocco was like, did you know, I think it's going to be a small meeting because it's like 6 degrees out.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't feel anything. Because I put my foot up, so I didn't feel it. Okay. So tell me, talk to me. I sent out the email, and I asked for some feedback, and I got one response. And it was good because it was someone who's very frustrated. But how did it go with addressing something that's causing you, like that little hurdle or that barrier, those sabotagers in the room, or your own willpower type thing? How did last week go? Well, I want you to know that I'm excited about the Fit Body Challenge along with you. And it is not, you are not expected to be perfect every week. So when I give you a challenge, it's almost like you're setting your mind up to take on the challenge, but maybe not that week you're not going to be great at the challenge. For example, Super Salad Week, I usually was terrible. I bought Super Salad Week. I had like 2 Super Salads. But in my mind, I really wanted to have Super Salad. I didn't plan properly. Okay? So the following week, I'm like, target. I had my Super Salad all week, and I felt really proud of myself. So I'm not asking you to, I'm giving you these goals, but don't get down on yourself if you're not achieving them right that very week. Okay? These are things that I'm putting in your mind that I want you to try to accomplish, but they're going to take time. So while you're doing this, I want you to realize that every time you choose to make a better decision, every time you choose to every time you choose to not give in, you are developing what's called a resistance habit. So you're choosing to improve your ability to say no. You are essentially developing self-discipline, which is what you need. And so self-discipline is all about doing what you need to do, even when you don't want to do it. It is what you have to do. I don't want to do this right now, but I need to do this right now. Self-discipline, okay? And one of the main things with exercise is when you really don't feel like coming to the gym, you just don't feel like working out, you better get your butt there, because that's the day that you really need to work out. And I promise you, after you finish that workout, you will feel better. Okay? Even if you just show up and allow your coaches and your team to kind of get you through the workout, because it happens to me a lot. I'm like starting spinning class and I'm just going through the motions. So like, I gotta put on a good show here. So I'm going through the motions, but I'm not actually genuinely enjoying spinning class at that time. And I'm like, alright, this is gonna get better, this is gonna get better. But the whole time I'm talking to myself, telling myself, I'm getting a good workout out of this, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting healthier, I'm moving on toward my goal. I have to work hard at talking to myself in order to eventually 25 minutes later my endorphins kick in and I'm like, yeah, alright, spin class is awesome, let's get our sweat on. But it takes a while for that to happen for me. Okay? So I actually have to trick myself into going to the class. Oh yeah, I love it. Great. Even though I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to keep spinning. and then eventually I'm like, yeah, it's a great workout. What's the problem? Okay? So you do tricks with yourself. I trick myself all the time. Like, I'm not even going to take class today. I'm just going to teach it from the floor. And then that would not ever happen. But I allow myself to think that. So you're going to trick yourself. I'm just going to put my exercise clothes on and I'm just going to walk today. And then eventually you end up doing more things. So I want to talk about vision, because if you have a desire, I want you to imagine yourself 6 months from now. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? Are you just focusing on the physical right now, or are you focusing on how you're feeling, goals that you want to accomplish other than just what you look like? What is your vision? You want to be able to keep up with your kids, be a good role model for your children, keep up with your grandchildren, do something cool at work, try a new hobby. What is your vision? It's unique to you, and only you can control where you want to go or what will happen. But you can do that through your vision. Now, a vision without action is just a dream and a wish and a hope. And you can't just say here, I can't wait, I wish this is going to happen, I hope this is going to happen, I know this is going to happen. But you need to put forth the action. And the action is the self-discipline. So every time you're creating those good habits, healthy habits, and that self-discipline you have, even when you don't want to do it, every time you do the action, along with looking at your vision, you are getting closer to achieving your goal. So, I want you to kind of, every time you think about quitting, you have to think about why you started. Why did you start in the first place? How far have you come already? Give yourself credit. Another thing is, are you thinking about where you have to go so far in the future? Or are you thinking about what you're doing in the here and now? You need to have the vision of where you want to go. But you have to be happy and proud of the things you do here and now, which are getting you to that vision. You can't say, oh, I'll be happy when I finally get there. You have to be happy with the things you do each day to get there. Okay? Like, I made chicken breast in the crock pot the other day with just chicken broth. Never did that before. Now I have this pile of shredded chicken to do whatever I want with. Okay? To you, that's like, why are you proud of yourself? Okay? Big deal. We all have our individual, unique things, okay? And you're not silly for your own, highs and lows. They're yours, okay? So work with them. I want to talk to you, I'm excited because Heather's in today. She's going to talk to us about nutrition, and she's my go-to girl. I give you the broad spectrum of nutrition, and then if you have more specifics, Heather can give you that. So she's going to talk to you about that. But before I go into that, I want to maybe go over if you're frustrated. If you're frustrated. But I get on the scale and it's not moving. I bet that's a lot of people. Okay? There are some people that their scale is moving. Like today came in and said, I stuck to my goal this week, Carrie, and I lost 3 pounds. Yay! And she said, I've never done that before. Woo-hoo! That's awesome. Okay? So we all are going to lose weight at different increments. And I don't want you to focus on the scale. The first thing first is, the scale is really just a number and a gauge. But your body composition is completely different. A pound is a pound. I'm a muscle pound of fat, pound is a pound. Okay? However, muscle is metabolizing your body, it's making your body work better. Okay? You're burning calories through muscle. But it doesn't mean, oh, well, I'm gaining muscle and I'm losing fat. This means you're becoming a more efficient engine. Your body is going to move inches. So, are you measuring yourself in how your clothes fit, or with a tape measure? Or are you just measuring yourself based on that scale? Because a pound of fat and a pound of muscle are the same pound. But a pound of fat is like this big thing of fat, where a pound of muscle is like a little muscle here. Okay? So your weight may not be fluctuating much right now, but your body composition may be changing greatly. You have to allow yourself to see that, not just, hold on a second. Just so you know, every time I do allow myself to get on the scale, I go, all my hard work, nothing, okay? But then, have to remember, oh, clothes are fitting better, oh, look, my body composition is changing, I'm getting stronger, the clothes fit better, I look better, I'm healthier, the skin's better, okay? All these things. But the scale, hate that thing. I'm going to throw it off my list. Okay. So I want to go over something, though. You can't say, I'm never going to lose weight. You are going to lose weight. But there are lots of things that you may be doing incorrectly, and you don't even know it. So we're going to go over some of those things that may be causing you to not be losing the weight, because you are putting forth effort, you are getting your exercise in. You have to talk about the intensity of it, and maybe you can adjust that or address that a little differently. And you're working really hard at making healthy food choices. But let's go a little bit more specifically as to what those are. The first thing is, I really need to talk to you about portion size. Okay? For example, I showed my mom, Mom, take this cool picture. I ate 2 eggs, 2 pieces of toast, and half a cup of grapefruit. But really the serving size is 1 egg, 1 piece of toast, and some grapefruit. So I'm eating healthy, making good choices, but I'm overeating my portion size. And I'm okay with that. But if you're trying to accomplish something, you have to say, wait a second, this is what I want, but what do I need to do right now? This is what I want to do, what do I need to do? And if you're willing to give up a little bit of what you want in order to get what you need, you're going to accomplish your goal. So for me, in my head, I know I'll have to cut my portion size a little. I'm not ready to do that. I don't want to. So, I'm not going to. When I'm ready to, I will. And that's happening at a slow rate. Over the week, I'm making better choices, and I'm accomplishing my goal. That's like a journey that I'm looking forward to. Awesome, what can we do next week? What's the nutrition goal this week? Okay, cool. I'll do better next time. And it's all happening at that rate. So what are your portion sizes? Are you genuinely putting forth a good effort at addressing how much you're eating? I've asked you to use MyFitnessPal, and I don't know if all of you are using MyFitnessPal. And I've asked you to measure your food, not because you have to be consumed with how much food you're eating, but we need to get you on at least the right page. Are you consuming the right amount of food? So, if you're not doing that, could you give it better effort towards your goal? Okay? Now, the next one is, do all your meals contain veggies? Okay, vegetables are super important in all of your meals. So when you go home, are you eating just egg whites and turkey bacon? Or are you adding spinach into that? Or your fruit at the same time? Are you adding some grapefruit or some orange? Or are you leaving out some food groups? Okay? So that's very important. Resting. That's a big one for me. When I did really well, I was doing balsamic my vinegars, which thankfully Lisa has brought for us to taste. There's lots of them, and I've gotten back to that. But I slowly got out of that. I was like, yeah, I have the ranch dressing on the side. I still have it on the side, but it's still the ranch dressing. And it's not a tablespoon, it's probably 4 tablespoons in those things, or more than that like people give you, okay? One is the serving size of dressing. Usually a tablespoon. If you eat a tablespoon of dressing on your salad, some of you may. Some of you may be like, okay? Do you know how many extra calories that is? And that's just like extra additives that you put on top of your bread, your potatoes, your whatever it is you're eating. All those additives do add up in calories. So, I want you to think about what you currently do and if you could improve upon that. Okay. Next, this is where Heather's going to talk to us a little bit later. What is actually in the food you're eating? Have you been addressing food labels? And the other day I was drinking this really cool drink. I wanted to bring the bottle and I forgot it, but it's BAI. It's this water that's flavored. Again, you'll also see in here tricky names for sugar additives. Oh, this doesn't have sugar. It does, of course it does. Listen, right where it says the sugar stays, it's a different word. It's sugar. Okay, so I'm looking at them like, it's good. Yeah, that's probably sugar. I'm sure it's on there. And also, the other thing was the serving size. On the bottle, this, I then decided, I'm going to do half this bottle and I'm going to put it with water. So now I'm watering it down a little bit, making it a little better. In the winter, I have a hard time drinking plain water. I don't know why, but I just do. So I got to do things to make it taste better. When I'm exercising, not a problem. But when I'm just kind of here and now, I'm like, ugh. So you got to do things to make it a little tastier. Am I bad? Am I bad? Am I failing because I'm not eating plain water with lemon and lime in it? No. I'm getting there. Getting there. Just the way I'm choosing to do it right now. So, and chemicals. Chemicals. I'm telling you, if it's not real food, if it's a quick fix, if it's in a box, if it has 100 different ingredients listed in what this food is, it's not good for you in the long run. Because last time I had a quote in there, it was, food can be your best form of medicine or a slow form of poison. And chemicals are that. Alright? And you have the opportunity and the choice. You can make the choice to eat healthy and treat your body right, and it can do great things for you. Or you can just eat junk. Okay? Every time you are about to eat something, it's an opportunity. Every meal, every snack is an opportunity for you to fuel your body. Every opportunity counts. It's like, yeah, this is my chance to get better. Am I going to take it? Or am I going to give in? No. I'm going to do what I need to do to get healthier. Okay. Mindless eating and snacking. That's a good one. The reason this challenge is good is because it just brings you back together. It brings your mind back to the focus of what you need to do to really stay on course. We all get off course. It's natural. It's easy to be like, oh look, I heard chickens over here. Oh look, some extra pretzels over here. Oh look, and you just kind of eat them. The other day, one of the guys, he always likes to bring me cookies, because I have this sweet tooth, and in the past, before the challenge, I was like letting myself allowed to have them, so I'm like, yeah, this is great. This time he brought them, and I was like, oh, I feel really guilty because I don't want to eat those cookies. And the two things happened. One, they sat in front of me, and I did not give in to the cookies because I genuinely just didn't want them because I was already having this great week in my fitness pal. I'm like, I am not wasting on these cookies. Plus, they weren't any that like really attractive to me. But I did that, and so I allowed myself to not give in to this temptation that was in front of me, and then I allowed myself to say, good job. So, what's the train of thought there? Mindless eating and snacks. Do you allow yourself to kind of do the whole, okay, I'm measuring my food out, here's what I should have, I'm going to eat a little more because it's not in my measurement. Okay, I'm good for that one. Oh, look, it's extra on the spoon. It's not there, but I'm going to have it. And kids' plates. Oh, my children didn't eat all their food. Oh, I'll eat it. You know, I love going out to eat with my nephews when they order junk food, and I'm like, I'm going to go fries. like, that all adds up. Okay? So, unnecessary appetizers. I've been noticing my family is not the healthiest as far as my brother and my sister-in-law, and my sister and my brother-in-law are really bad. And I worry about them, not because of what size they are, but because of their health. I want their hearts to be healthy. I want them to be around forever, and the food that you choose impacts that. Okay? So I've noticed when I go out to eat that they don't order appetizers much anymore, and that's like a huge deal. Those are so many added calories, meal calories right there, and now they're pulling that out. So are you doing that? Could you kind of leave that out and just go with the meal? Okay. Quality of calories versus quantity. Again, tell you that every time you're about to eat is an opportunity to address your body, fuel your engine, so that it will perform the best it can. The food that you eat impacts how you feel, how you think, how you focus, how you perform. So are you just eating food right now because you just want to eat it? Or are you eating it for the quality of the food? Are you eating it, this is only 100 calorie pack of cookies, I get to eat this. If you're thinking of it in terms of, I'm trying to just get food in, you're not helping yourself develop lasting habits. But if you think of it on the quality aspect, and you say, you know what, I'm going to have this whole cookie because I had a great day, that's better than just trying to find those 100 calorie snacks and things that you can eat and kind of throw into your life. Okay? So quality versus quantity very much matters. Okay? Confusing healthy with low calorie. Just because it says low calorie or fat free does not mean it's good for you. Generally, it has added sugar or added chemicals. These are all things that are not putting you in the forward process. Okay? So we need to take that into consideration. Even fruit and vegetables have smarter choices. Okay, someone came up to me the other day, very upset, like, I just don't know what to do. And I said, okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, I have yogurt. Okay, well, what kind of yogurt? Well, it's the kind of yogurt that has tons of sugar in it. Okay, so he said, it's Greek yogurt. Okay, it's Greek yogurt, but it still has tons of sugar in it. So you need to do plain and add your own sweetener. So what she did was she's like, okay, I did the plain yogurt, I added the fruit, that was disgusting. I said, okay. So she added some sweet milk. Like, okay, see always some sweet milk. Put some natural local honey in, a little bit at a time to make it a little sweeter. And for you, like for me, I started out with a lot of honey, and I slowly backed the honey off so that my taste, like I was allowed to have less and less sweet in my mind. And it worked out well. I was like, yeah, I'm having natural honey, this is good, sweet, but I slowly backed the portion size off. So then she's like, okay, what else are you doing? Well, I'm having a banana, and I'm having carrots, and I'm like, okay, I need you to switch your banana up. I need that to be more berries. Okay, berries are better than your heavier type of fruit if you're doing weight loss. As an athlete, a banana is awesome. But for weight loss, something that you're trying to accomplish in this sense, a banana is probably sabotaging you maybe. Okay? What else? Oh, the carrot. The carrot also contains sugar. And she's like, okay, well, what could I have then? I said, well, maybe how about some peppers? So she texted me, she's like, well, I can't even believe it. The sodium amount content in carrot versus the sodium in a pepper, it was like 85 to 5. Something crazy. So you have to take a look at the quality of the vegetables and fruits that you're eating. Like what do they amount to? Which brings me back up to that MyFitnessPal. Last night I took a look at MyFitnessPal, and I was thinking, okay, I've been under my calorie goal. My exercise calories have been great. I've been reaching my protein, a little over on my fat, not quite at my carbs, in the spectrum of the week, okay? I'm not looking at it on one day, okay? It's varying right now, but over the week. So okay, when you do the end your day on MyFitnessPal, it's like, 6 weeks, you're going to weigh this much. Yeah. Okay. It's a good motivator, but usually you have to take that with a grain of salt. Okay? So I look at it and I think, okay, let me see where my sugar content is at. Still over on my sugar. I've got to figure out where that sugar is coming from. And it could be coming from the little snacks that I allow myself to eat. Like, okay, instead of choosing the chocolate chip cookies, I went with the Keebler Natural. Okay? They're better. They don't have as many preservatives in them, but they're still soft cookies on the shelf. Okay? Okay, I only had 2, but still junk. Okay? I'm slowly eliminating that. I didn't need to have it, but it was date night. But it was date. Okay? You can't allow yourself to always do that. If you do that, it's not going to get anywhere. So keep making good habits. Here's another one. Juices, teas, sodas, alcohol. These are not 3 calories. They all add up. So I'm eating so well. Yeah, Saturday night I drank like a bottle of wine. something and you cut back, are you being honest with yourself? If you have the mindset that foods are off limits, you're setting yourself up. Okay? If you say, I'm not having brownies anymore, the only thing you're going to think about is brownies. That is all you're going to want. My mom is not seems to get her mind up with a Dunkin' Donuts. So we're working on more regional donuts. I was like, Mom, stop thinking about it. You're trying to have Dunkin' Donuts more today. Yeah. So it's very hard. But every time you fast it, you say, it's cool. Okay? So, I don't want you to think foods are off limits. You can eat whatever you want in moderation, but you have to think of your whole week at a time, each day, how are you doing? Thinking it's a diet instead of a living. This is not a temporary fix. If you think of it that way, it's not going to last. How can you make changes so that it is a lasting thing? It is a living. You have to live the lifestyle. If you take this time, right now, the little extra time it takes to use MyFitnessPal, to measure your food, to look at labels, if you take the time, the energy to watch and address your thinking patterns, why you're eating what you're eating, if you're overeating, if you take the time now, your habits will last later. If you just let the time fly by, it's not going to, you're not addressing, you're not forming new habits. Okay? Oh, trying to eat as little as possible or skipping meals. Well, saving my calories for later. Alright, that's a bad idea. Because you're now slowing your metabolism down. You have to keep eating throughout the day. You have to do your limit style, not your diet style. Okay? We have to eat throughout the day in order to keep our metabolism running. So, if you have unrealistic expectations of yourself, like making drastic changes, okay, that's what I'm talking about. If you literally try to completely change your cabinet and your eating structure, you're going to fail. Because you're like, what did I just do? I cannot do this. Alright? But the cool thing is, it's not over. You learned that you can't do that. Now how do we address it and continue on? Okay? It's natural. You're not a failure. Okay? You have to address one thing at a time, which is like today. One goal at a time. I told you last week, address your hurdle, your obstacle, and that is all you're focusing on. And look what happens. Success. One hurdle, one obstacle. Okay. We talked about focusing on the scale instead of your inches. Okay, body composition is going to change. You focus on that scale and you constantly have your mind in the negative mindset, you're not going to see positive. Remember, what you think about really impacts what happens throughout your day. If it's all negative, you're setting yourself up to be negative. Okay? If you're stressing, you're dropping cortisol into your body, which definitely aids in stored fat, okay? And lack of sleep. So we have to learn how to relax in the moment and try to sleep better. One of the ways you can sleep better is by doing that gratitude journal at night. Going to bed feeling happy, okay? Relax. If you have a lot on your mind, you got to write in your journal. Get it out. Until it's out, then you're like, calm comes over you, you can sleep. Relax. Wake up in the morning. Today is going to be a great day. Today's my day. I'm going to do this. And you're setting yourself up to have a better day. Not, oh my God, I don't know if I can. And if you say that, recognize it. Now reflect. No, I can do this. I will do this. It's going to be a great day. And that's how you start to change your thinking patterns. Okay? Dehydration. I promise you, if you're not hydrating enough, you're also not helping your body to metabolize, you're not pushing fluids through, or things through your body, and so you're doing yourself a disservice by not drinking. But I don't have time and I don't remember. Okay, that's fine, but you do have time and you can remember. You have to do things to make yourself remember. Okay? Don't feel sorry for yourself. Let's find a way. Last thing is eating out too often. You can make healthy choices eating out. However, if you don't know how they're cooking the food, I mean, really, I eat out a lot because it's just easier. However, over the last few weeks, I chose to cook because I know what's going into the food that I'm eating. I know how it's being prepared. So that's very important. You can relate to the things on here, and you can address one thing at a time so as to make progress each week. Okay. So, this brings us up to Coach Heather. We're talking about food labels, some sugar, some supplements, some vitamins. Do it, Heather. Hi everyone, thanks for having me today. For those that I don't know, my name is Heather and I'm one of the instructors here. Just a little bit about me. I have my degree in exercise science and minor in nutrition, and then I worked at Aircraft for many, many years, a corporate fitness center and various gyms in the Lehigh Valley, and then had my babies, and now I'm very, very fortunate and very, very proud to be part of the dedicated fitness team here, because this feels like family and home community for sure. So, one thing I'm not, and I'm sure you said I'm going to go to for the nutrition, I'm not a nutritionist, not a dietitian, and to be honest, I'm glad that I'm not, because I kind of, I've worked with them in the past, and my belief system and what I found to work in the nutrient fast is not correlating with basically the guidelines that they follow in the nutrition around the world. So, that's where I differ. And I'd be happy to talk to any one of you. My contact is my card up front, and I'm sure Carrie can give you my contact information, so if you want a little bit more information or you want to talk a little bit more in depth. Nutrition is vast and huge, and it's constantly changing. I just finished up some of my continuing education credits for my personal training certification, and I'm going to share just a little bit about it because I know we're going to have a lot of time with you, but it's constantly changing and evolving, and what they said this year is now different from the time I did my studies 3 months ago. It could be different studies out there right now that I was not even aware of. So just be knowledgeable of that, and just because you read it or read it last year doesn't mean it's tried and true this year. So something like that. But we're going to start focusing on the food labels first, and I'm just going to go through that with you briefly. A lot of times you go to the store and you're looking at the labels, and you're talking about this label is package versus this label is package. And basically, I'm sure she's discussed with you, eating things in their whole and natural state is definitely what you want to choose to do versus standing in the grocery store and looking at all these labels and all these things that are processed. The further you can get away from the center aisle in the grocery store, the better off you will be. But just so you have the tools, and again, some of you may be familiar, but for those that are a refresher too, when you're looking at calories, it's basically the energy that a food or a serving of food is going to give to your body. Often you'll find that, I think more than not, you'll find that they have the serving amount listed. However, say like a Gatorade bottle or a juice bottle she's talking about, referring to, it may say per serving, and that could be only half of the bottle you're drinking. So you may pick up the apple juice and it says 90 calories, and really it's per serving, and there's 2 servings in there. So you're drinking 180 calories, and maybe about 20 grams of sugar. Well, actually it was 40 grams of sugar that you just consumed in that one, 8 or 12 ounce bottle. So be wary of the portion size and then how many servings are within. Just moving down there a little bit, the total fat is usually broken off in between, let's see, listed as saturated, let's have all 3. Saturated, trans, polyunsaturated, and monounsaturated fat. Your saturated fats have been known to be more like what they call the artery clogging, working to push up your LDL cholesterol levels, basically your bad cholesterol levels. I think they kind of got a little bit of a bad rap, and that's more or less just been coming out. Lisa could probably talk way better than I could about this topic. Coconut oils of that nature, things, fats that are high in saturated, where it was, like I said, basically getting a bad rap. I think the carbs and the sugars is where that
spawns from. So the combination of eating the saturated fat with the carbohydrates and the sugar, I think that's what really spawns the problem versus eating a low, moderate carbohydrate diet with high saturated, or not super high saturated, but saturated and good healthy fat, which are basically your good ones. You're looking at your poly and your monounsaturated fat. Just to keep it a little bit less confusing, I don't want to dive in too deep here, but the poly and monounsaturated fat, if you're choosing a food, and this one particularly is not a good example of what I'm telling you, but say it was 3.5 grams of fat, which is this is listed here, and those 3.5 all came from poly or monounsaturated fat, that's typically a healthier food choice than if you were looking at the high saturated. Again, I'm conflicting with what I'm telling you, obviously, but you do want to keep your saturated on a lower level, but don't be scared of them either. The trans fat, definitely just avoid as best you can if you're looking at a food that's hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated. The guilty pleasure is the coffee creamer, and I log it on MyFitnessPal every day, and I'm like, I know somebody's looking at this, and they're like, Heather, you tell us not to do it, and we do it. But, we're not all perfect, and there's some vices that we have, so yeah, we can all work towards improvement myself, for sure, on that. But avoid the trans fat, so that's that. Cholesterol is just a different type of fat in your body. It is called cholesterol is essential to breathing here, so not easier to do, but cholesterol is essential to survive for making hormones and new cells, vitamin D, and substances that aid in digestion. Our liver can produce the necessary amount we need, therefore the nutrient is really not being necessary. So when you're looking at a food, not feeling like, oh, I need to meet my daily cholesterol level, you don't need to. So looking at foods that are lowering that cholesterol. Sodium, I think Carrie had in here, and excuse me because I'm looking at multiple notes. I think she had, right here, just adjacent to it on the right. Tell us how much salt is in each food. Eating less than 2,400. Typically when I counsel with my clients, I say 23, because it's 24 is kind of like the high realm or the peak that you want to avoid, but 24 is good, you're still keeping under. 23 is even better. And you shall find that if you eat food of its natural state, you're not even going to come close to that number. So as you're doing MyFitnessPal and you're eating food basically from a whole or natural state, you're not even going to come close. But you may not even hit 1,500, which is what you want. If you start eating those kilo crackers or whatever it is that you may consume, and you're going to see that number jack up. If you salt your food, it counts. So be very, very good at that. See, the more seasoning that you put on there, it's going to tip you over the edge. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are broken down into different areas. You'll see fiber in there, sugar, alcohol, particularly listed, particularly sugar alcohol. Like we mentioned, Carrie mentioned earlier, the sugar alcohol you want to try to avoid again. That's a tough one for me. But that is one that you want to try to avoid if at all possible. Sometimes you'll see things like net carbs. They'll take like the fiber content and they'll subtract it. Like I know I buy these wraps, and they'll have, net carbs is only, 4, I'm just looking this up. But technically on the back it says there's 14 because there's 10 grams of fiber, so they're subtracting that from your carbs. The higher the fiber content, the better off you are. If you are choosing foods or trying to make wise decisions when you go to the grocery store, per serving 5 grams of fiber or higher is usually like a thumbs up. Anything below that is typically not of a greater benefit to you, so look at that 5 or above with that. And basically fiber just helps to cleanse your system, helps to rid your body of toxins, give it colon, and it pushes things out. There's soluble and insoluble fiber, so again, if you want to find out more information, I'll definitely talk to you about that, but I don't want to jump that deep into that particular. But basically fiber is good, the higher you can get the better. I think it was listed here 20 to 35 grams. I typically say, at least minimum 25 grams of fiber per day for female, to 35 for male. So if you are using MyFitnessPal, even if you're eating healthy, double check where you are in fiber, and that might be a little here, so picking a roll out. Check your fiber, check your sodium content that's on the MyFitnessPal, because you might find sometimes when you're eating really healthy food, you're only putting 10, 15 grams of fiber, and you think it should be up. So again, double check the vegetables that you're consuming, try to pick some that are higher in fiber content to drive that number up. It's really, really important and helpful to you. And it also provides satiety too. So your system takes longer to break down, so it's going to stay in there longer and make you feel fuller. Protein basically provides a building block in your body for muscles. The more muscle you have, the higher your metabolism, typically the lower your inches of your body. So I think you guys are working at or striving towards 40, is it 30 or 40? 40. Okay, so
40% carbs.
carbs first. Okay, so 30% protein. So you definitely be hitting that marker for yourself. For an active individual, I usually recommend at least 1 gram per pound of body weight that you are per day. So 30% may not quite be getting you there, but again, I feel sometimes my beliefs are a little bit different than what really is like the normal standard should be. But definitely be hitting your 30%. You definitely need that if you're becoming more active.
I want to interrupt Heather there. It's very true. Heather and I are not nutritionists, okay? And when you watch the food guide pyramid, it says 55 to 60% of carbs is what you should be consuming. Whatever. You're not going to lose weight that way. I can tell you that right now. You're not. And it's kind of like, okay, protein is healthy for you. So are carbs. If you eat healthy carbs, with not like pastas and breads and bagels, things like that, those are the things that you're not going to get weight loss with.
Yeah. You see your sweet potatoes, your fibrous vegetables, your broccoli, your cauliflower. Like you can keep your carbs from that nature, your brown rice, quinoa, different things like that. So seek out the healthier alternatives for you, definitely for your carbohydrates. Some people, you may know people that are like thick skinny and they can eat those carbs. Their body, for whatever reason, their chemistry can just bond it off and they can burn it off and their bodies can regulate off of it. I cannot. I've been eating a much higher carbohydrate diet and I am like 8 to 10 pounds heavier than when I'm following my tried and true formula pie graph on my Fitness Pal. And I said it just, my body will not, even with the exercise, like, oh, you're teaching classes, teaching classes all the time. Yeah, no, I deviate from that pie graph and forget it. It's over. So for everybody it's different. I'm super sensitive to being off my pie graph. Very, very sensitive. You may find that interesting things too. Just real quick, some tips I just wanted to get out to you guys. Ingredients are listed in the bottom of the food label. The least abundant within a product. So you're going to have the higher percentage of whatever ingredients first listed, basically. The first 5 ingredients are also the majority of the food. You want to look for the first ingredients to read 100% or full in its description. Typically, healthier foods have the least amount of ingredients listed. Avoid foods with the first 3 ingredients, which carry a great list of sugars, high fructose corn syrup, high fructose syrup for corn syrup. So definitely want to be avoiding those that begin there. Even your bread, if you go down, I'm not taking a country party, that's just where I shop. You pick up a loaf of bread there, and then, first ingredient is like flour or whatever, and then the next ingredient is like high fructose corn syrup in your bread. So just be conscientious of that, for sure, when you're eating. Avoid foods, which I mentioned, hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oils, and choose oils that are lower in saturated fats, such as canola, olive, rapeseed, safflower, soybean, and sunflower. And don't be afraid of coconut. Don't be afraid of that. Just really quickly, I'm just going to run through because I know I'm running out of time. There are supplements, your vitamins and minerals, and botanicals, amino acids. Something that you can do when you go for your next physical is you can ask or request for a blood panel of all your levels, and if you're going to talk about vitamins or of that nature, if you're taking a vitamin or not taking a vitamin. It can be a little tricky again. One of the things when I was doing my studies this winter, they were saying like you could go to the doctor and just that particular week you could be low on vitamin C or you could be high on this, but the next week you might level off. So even when you would get a blood panel, I think it's a great thing to do just to see where you are and kind of get a ballpark, and maybe do an annual or every 2 years, just if you are deficient in some area. I think it could be definitely helpful to you to be proactive on your health. But certainly, obviously, insurances and the whole 9 years, we don't want to get on that topic. They won't cover it for you, but it could be helpful to you to see where you're maybe not quite getting everything that you need. Because even if you are eating a healthy and very full diet, you may not be able to get all the nutrients that you need from food. Just a heads up on that. Let me see. Vitamins are important, so like I said, if you are deficient, they basically help your body to process carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. So it's definitely super, super important. So again, not taking it lightly. If you're not, if you are deficient, you need to check out. Let me see. Your minerals. I'm so sorry, guys.
I need to roll up.
Basically, your body uses minerals to produce hormones and enzymes that control your metabolism, and add electrolytes and to balance your body's fuel. So if you are same thing, if you are low in certain areas, you might be tired, drowsy, whatever, it can affect you in so many different ways. However, I do recommend, and you should do for my clients, to talk to your doctor or whomever before you start taking something, because you may have something that may be contradicted by you taking a supplement. And just, maybe I can come back and talk to you guys another time, but this is just a fun fact, not a fun fact, but a fact that I put out there in a previous sentence. Avoid ingesting calcium and magnesium at the same time, because calcium can block the absorption of magnesium. So if you start taking all these pills at the same time, you're like, oh great, I got all these in for the day. However, one may be blocking the other. If you take all of your calcium, and this is something I wanted to talk a little bit more about, but I know we're going to be short. With calcium, if you take what they recommend, your daily dose at once, then your body will not absorb it at all. And you need to break it, typically it's how you break it down into 2 different times of the day. If you take, one of your pills in the morning, you take one in the afternoon for better absorption throughout. So it's like I said, it gets really tricky, and keep talking to your doctors about that before you are supplementing anything. Botanicals and the herbs, a lot of things are out there like this. Like we have on the far right side, we're talking about like ginger or garlic or, again, and I'm kind of jumping a little bit here, but you feel like Dr. Oz promotes this, the ketones or, I don't know, there's always something, the berry pills or whatever like that. Best advice is just a steer clear. They can have a lot of negative side effects, and you don't know how your body chemistry is going to react to them. So if you're reading something to take this, drink this, it's going to help you, best to just avoid it straight up. Stay away from it. And the one thing I wanted to hit in the next chapter, and I apologize, is basically the fat burners. They are not FDA regulated. So basically, they're not safe product safe. Again, your body chemistry may not work in accordance with them. They definitely can give you more energy. They can give you a lot of anxiety, a lot of high, feel that buzz or whatever before you work out, or if you're taking it, whatever it is that you're taking it for energy. And there is some limited support, that there is some cellular benefit to it. A lot of times these studies and these companies, they come out and they do a study on like 10 people for like 8 weeks, and then they publicize, oh, we did these studies, and it was really like a minor, really poor quality study. So, honestly, just be very, very cautious of what you would take or buy or put in your body. It's pretty dangerous, and I would definitely say not worth it, not worth wasting your money on. A lot of times Tuesday nights, it's hard for me to get going in the evenings in my classes. I usually do a cup of tea before I come in. Caffeinated tea, black tea, whatever it is, whatever I have at home, put it in there, and I'm like, yeah. So to be on the safe side, I say stick with tea, stick with a cup of coffee. If you need something to get your body pumping and get yourself going, save your money and don't spend it on that. Because any of those, like we talked about, the fat burners, botanicals, all those things, they do, like I said, at some cellular level, they can show a bit of a benefit, but long term, that's not what it's going to make. What's going to be the result? Taking that pill or taking that supplement, it's not really going to do that result. It's really what you're doing every day, day in and day out, that's going to produce that benefit and keep you. And, like a lot of those people say, they're like, oh, I took this pill, well, what happens to you when you stop taking it? Your energy levels are going to drop. You're going to feel lethargic, and you're better off. You're actually worse off than you were before. So, sorry, guys. And you guys have any questions? I'll dive in deeper and have to talk to you about anything. Thanks for having me. Thank you. So, as far as the vitamins go, yes, overall we are trying to get vitamins in through our food. Okay, comes in through our food, but they do help us process our macronutrients. So, my thinking was, if you are not getting all your vitamins in because you're not perfect at eating yet, you may want to take a multivitamin. However, like Heather just said, if you take it all in at one time, your body doesn't always absorb it all, so you eat it out. When you look for a vitamin, it has to be a time-release vitamin that is time-release. This way, it's
letting little bits of the vitamin out into your body at a time. Okay? So you can kind of think about that. Maybe you want to look into multivitamins. The other thing I wanted to just talk to you about is that everyone is different. And you can't, it's not fair, it's not fair. You have to get rid of that mentality. Yeah, it's not fair. That any person can eat everything that they want, they just metabolize it. Yeah, again, they might be a miserable person inside and have to deal with a lot of other stuff, okay, that you don't know about. It just happens to be that they can eat food and you can't in the same proportion. Okay, get rid of that mentality. We are all different. And so now you need to dig deep and find that self-discipline, because if it's burning inside of you to accomplish something, you can do it. You will do it, but you have to believe that you can. And you have to be willing to get up in the morning and get here at 7 o'clock, even though you don't want to. You have to be willing to come to your workout, even when you don't feel like it. You have to be willing to say, no, I'm not going to eat that. I'm going to eat this instead. I know I want that, but if I want to achieve my goal, that's what I have to do right now. This is what I have to do. I have to make a little sacrifice in order to have a big gain later. Okay? Don't feel pity on yourself. Take pride in the fact that you are trying to accomplish great things. You are trying to get healthier and be excited about it. Look forward to the next week ahead. What are you going to do on this journey? What does your next week look like? Get excited about the challenge that you have ahead and how you're going to attack it, instead of, oh man, I don't know if I can do this. I'm afraid I'm going to fail. I've failed in the past. I'm weak-minded. I'm going to give in. Okay. You may have in the past have been weak. You may have let yourself down and given up. That does not mean you're going to this time. You need to address that. I can do this. I will do this. I'm going to do this. I was weak in the past. I'm not weak now. I'm strong. I can. Okay? This time is different. You will do it. You can. So, I want you to find a new recipe. This week, the nutrition goal is find a new recipe. Find something that you can share with the group. When I addressed my fitness pal, like I said, overall my choices of eating are healthy, but when I looked at my total calories, it's just the quality of the calories in those foods. So one day I had shrimp salad as my lunch, a jumbo shrimp on lettuce, but the other day I had eggs and toast. And let me just tell you, there wasn't much difference in my days, but by the end of the day, at 6 o'clock, I had already eaten all my calories, and I was like, oh, what am I going to do? I'm hungry. Okay, and that was because I just didn't plan properly, and my calories weren't balanced out throughout the day. Fortunately, I had a little more activity that night, and I ended up having plain chicken from my crock pot with salt and pepper on it, and it was delicious. So, and I didn't eat anything with it, okay? So, one of the other things that you need to address is sometimes when you are trying to live this lifestyle and you're trying to change your habits, you worry that you're going to be hungry. You worry that this isn't going to be enough food. But if it isn't enough food, it's okay. So do what you need to do at this time. Feel how you're feeling. Allow time to pass. If you're still hungry, legit, you're still hungry, you need to eat something else. But you have to say to yourself, okay, this is enough food. For example, Sean made steaks for dinner the other night. I had them over like greens, a really big salad. It was awesome. It was delicious. And normally I wouldn't have thought twice about just eating that whole however many ounce length that thing is. But instead I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to eat the portion size. Yeah, I'm gonna. And I sliced it up thin so that I had a lot of bites with it instead of just like only a couple bites. And I ended up eating like 4 ounces of it instead of half of it is basically what I ate. I don't know how big it was. I did not measure it, but I did eat half. And so I was like, yeah, save some for tomorrow. I do feel satisfied and full. I'm not hungry. All right, I can do this. Okay? So are you overeating just because you want to? Because it tastes good? Or are you doing what you have to do to accomplish your goal? So now what we're going to do is we're going to exercise. Get a good workout in this week. You're going to have to make sure you get to your workout. They are all important. All the activities count. We have these vinegars up here. Before you head to your area where I'll tell you where you're going to go, if you want to,